2022 at Kylemore Abbey. Today I'm going to talk to you about this lovely old analogue switchboard that was used here in the Abbey right up until the end of the 1980s. So at that point, that was when the rest of the country switched over to digital telephones. It was a very exciting time in the country, and actually the very last public switchboard call was placed and put through by a postmistress in County Clare, and that was from the businessman Michael Smurfit to Charles J. Haughey, so very typical of the time. So the little analogue switchboard here, this would have taken calls through from the local postmistress. Her name was Betty Hamilton in the local Kylemore post office. They would have been received here in the Abbey, and one of the nuns would have been nominated as the operator here in the Abbey, and she would have used these little switches here to patch the calls through to different parts of the Abbey. And what I think is really interesting about it in terms of the history of the Abbey, this may not be the oldest piece we have, but it's really quirky, and also it shows that Kylemore was really a little self-sufficient estate of its own, and all the important areas of the estate are shown, such as the pottery, the tea shop, the shops, St. Benedict's house, which was the farmhouse, is what they called it at the time. Stella Maris was the chaplain's house. And then we had the school and the community room and calls up to the dormitories. St. Joseph's was the nuns' accommodation, is where the Notre Dame building is now. St. Agnes's and St. Aelred's. So these were all the important parts of the Abbey for the community. And you can imagine, as a semi-enclosed community, the nuns didn't get to go home very many times during the year. So it was really important to them to be able to stay in contact with their families and the outside world. And they would have only received a very limited number of phone calls, so it was really important to them. And then of course you have to imagine the girls from all over the world living here in Kylemore, and the phone calls home, apart from the letters home, and many of the girls remember when they would come into the ref for their lunch, that their letters, the post would be left up on the mantelpiece for them. But apart from that, the phone calls from home were really, really important. So I think it's just a lovely little reminder of a different era and a different time, and the importance of communication at Kylemore through the years.